Hello and welcome. You're watching Business 360. I'm Archana Solanki. Let's do a quick check of the headlines this hour. BJP scripts history in Gujarat with its best show yet, set to form the government for a record 7th straight term. Congress suffers a crushing defeat and the Aam Aadmi Party is in single digits. Bhupendra Patel to take oath as Chief Minister on December 12th. Himachal Pradesh sticks to tradition, hands over a clear majority to the Congress. Senior party observers camp in the state amidst concerns over poaching attempts. Outgoing Chief Minister Jairam Thakur concedes defeat, says they respect the mandate. Stock markets snap a two-day losing streak led by bank stocks. Bank Nifty ends at a record closing high. Mid-caps outperform the blue chips.
Eventually, private capital does have to earn a particular return to justify that investment in capital.
Capacity utilization, which is also picking up, but there is a serious amount of global uncertainty.
There is concern in many areas, therefore people are uncertain. Let's unwind that and move forward.
Corporate India is nervous about the global economy and is holding back investment, says industry leaders. But Kotak says companies must act ahead of the curve and move forward. Bharat Forge's Baba Kalyani says railway modernization is happening at a rapid pace, adds that manufacturing in India will see a game-changing situation. The Defence Ministry takes a leaf out of the Railway Ministry's playbook on modernization. Air India draws up a $400 million fleet makeover plan to improve in-flight experience for passengers. 40 wide-body aircraft will be refurbished with new interiors. The aircraft will also have a new premium economy cabin. Bharat Pay files a lawsuit against its former managing director Ashneer Grover and his family to court, seeks 88 crore rupees in damages for allegedly creating fake invoices and listing fictitious vendors and overcharging the company. The Supreme Court spars with the union government once again over the appointment of judges, warns ministers to exercise control over criticism of the collegium, says names of judges for appointment have been pending since 2019. Let's get to the big headline of the day. A record victory for the BJP in Gujarat, the clear majority to the Congress in Himachal Pradesh. The Gujarat election results will certainly go a long way in bolstering the BJP's confidence. A return to power in Himachal may provide some solace to the Congress. Parikshit Luthra joins us from the election wall.
Well, yes, several headlines from the election in Himachal Pradesh and Gujarat. Let's begin with the state of Gujarat. Historic victory there for the BJP, on course to winning 157 seats. Now, this is the highest number for any party in the state of Gujarat. Remember, they have beaten the 1985 tally of the Congress party under Madhav Singh Solanki when they had 149 seats. Also, the BJP is now the only party, apart from the CPIM, to win 7 consecutive elections in the state, and how they have increased their tally by 58 seats all across the state of Gujarat. So you cannot say that they won in one pocket, lost out in the others. This has been a strong victory all across the state in the 182 assembly in Gujarat. A dismal performance for the Congress party. Their campaign had been lackluster and many had questioned about whether the party was even serious about the campaign in Gujarat. Their tally down from 77 in 2017 to 16 at this point. 61-seat loss for the Congress party in the state. Many of their top figures, top faces in Gujarat have lost out. Aam Aadmi Party, the big gainer here, winning or en route to winning 5 seats in the state of Gujarat, and they're making a dent in the Congress's vote bank. Now, this is a big headline from Gujarat as well. Aam Aadmi Party emerging as an alternative to the Congress, to the opposition, to the main opposition party in Gujarat, that is the Congress party. The Aam Aadmi Party went on to say that this goes on to show that they are now becoming a national party. Bhupendra Patel of the BJP from Ghatloda has gone on to say that they will be taking oath on the 12th of December. That's when the oath-taking ceremony will take place, and Bhupendra Patel winning very comfortably. He won against Ami Yagnik of the Congress party by over 1 lakh votes. 81% of the votes going in favor of Bhupendra Patel from Ghatlodia. Let's go across to the state of Himachal Pradesh. This state historically has never voted back a party to power, and that has not changed this time around as yet. And this has been a face saver for the Congress party because if they had lost the state of Himachal as well, they would have been down to only 2 states in the country, that is Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan. Also, they've not really won any state in the last 2 years. They've not won alone anywhere at all. So losing Himachal would have been a big setback to their morale. They've gained 19 seats, winning 40 seats, and the Congress will now be deciding their chief ministerial candidate. And in order to prevent any kind of poaching, they are planning to shift their MLAs to Chandigarh. That plan is underway right now. So Bhupendra Singh Hooda, the former chief minister, also Bhupesh Baghel, Rajiv Shukla, these are leaders who will be overseeing the campaign in the state of Gujarat. The BJP's tally down to 25, losing about 19 seats. Jairam Thakur, the chief minister, managing to retain his seat of Siraj, the battle that he has been winning since 1998. He won very comfortably by over 30,000 votes. Now we'll have to see who becomes the chief minister in Himachal. It will be an interesting battle, and the Congress will have to do a balancing act. You've got 3 faces, Sukhwinder Singh Sukhu, you've got the leader of opposition, Mukesh Agnihotri, and you have Pratibha Singh, the wife of the late Veerbhadra Singh. So strong contenders there. Let's see what happens, how the party balances interests. But of course, the big headline coming from Gujarat, where the BJP has won with a historic number.
All right, thank you, Parikshita, for those updates. And of course, with Gujarat, Himachal also sticking to tradition. Now, moving on to the day's market action, Dalal Street is back in the green as market snapped its 2-day losing streak, aided by the financial stocks. Sensex rose by over 100 points, Nifty gained 50 points. Bank Nifty also posted a record close by gaining almost 500 points. Nigel D'Souza is here with the market wrap.
Well, it was a good trading session, actually. All the frontline indices did pretty well. The Nifty, though, the sense you get is it's still in a bit of a consolidation phase till it takes out those lifetime highs. The Nifty Bank, that was the one that was firing away today, and it had a bit of a breakout day in terms of an up move. The broader markets, though, they performed, and that's something that makes portfolios feel rather good. In terms of the indices, well, you had the banking index that did well, but the PSU banking index, that was the one that got its mojo back, and that was flying away. Remember, that's the best performing index in 2022 so far. On the flip side, the pharma and the realty index, both of them were under some pressure. But if the banking names did well, then the top gainers on the Nifty will include the banking names. So you had Axis Bank and IndusInd Bank, both of them did fairly well, while Eicher Motors has been eyeing newer geographies, and that stock was up close to around 2%. On the pharma index, though, you had a couple of losers, and Sun Pharma continues to face the regulatory issues. The Halol unit was in the dock yet again, so that stock was down close to around 3%. Giving it company on the downside was Divi's Laboratory, and Power Grid as well did see a bit of a cut in trade. The PSU banking names, though, that's the way to go. Bank of Baroda, PNB, as well as Canara Bank, all of them flying away in trade. On the losing edge, you had LTI, Mindtree, as well as India Bulls Housing Finance. Both of them were under some pressure. And it wasn't a good day for pharma, so Lupin as well was under some pressure. To sum things up, the Nifty is finding support at around 18,500, though it needs to take out that 18,850 decisively to see a bit of a breakout towards that 19,000 odd mark. For the time being, retail will be happy because the breadth of the market has improved.
Thank you, Nigel, for that. Shifting focus now, corporate India is nervous about the global economy and is holding back investments. Top industry leaders spoke to Shirin Bhan at the CII Global Economic Policy Summit in Delhi today. They expressed apprehensions over investing, citing global economy and potential lack of return on investment. Uday Kotak, who was also on the panel, said that companies need to act ahead of the curve and move forward with investments. Take a look.
The macros for investments, I think, are pretty good. If you look at, the availability of funds, the corporate income tax, better balance sheet. So all these are positives. Earnings also are on a better trajectory. The issue really comes to is about capacity utilization, which is also picking up, but there is a serious amount of global uncertainty.
Private sector, we are starting to see investments in the last few quarters, whether it's in real estate, construction, logistics, chemicals, some of those sectors. But there are many other sectors where there is still excess capacity. Eventually, private capital does have to earn a particular return to justify that investment in capital. And that's where I think it's more a short to medium term window that we're looking at for private capital to come back. You need concerted effort that goes beyond words for our leaders to realize that there is that 3% delta between 7 and 10% growth, which we could either lose, or if we were to actually achieve that, it will create a whole new India. And that's what we need to work towards.
I share with the finance minister, people in this room and on this dais need to get our animal spirits up a lot more. We did a survey in Kotak of 900 corporates and SMEs recently, first week of November. We found 66% of the companies across corporate to SME having capacity utilization of 80% or more. But only 15% of the total were ready to invest for new capex. So capacity utilizations in many areas are going up, but people are waiting and watching because of perceived uncertainty. The global situation, thanks to COVID and Ukraine, has made a lot of people in India circumspect. In a 24/7 news, if you keep on getting barrage of bad news from around the world, it's got to affect your psychology and your mind. And we are not immune to this. I remember in 2008-9, I took a call. Don't read the Financial Times and the Wall Street Journal.
Meanwhile, Baba Kalyani of Bharat Forge was also on the panel with industry leaders. He said that railway modernization is happening at a rapid pace. He also added that manufacturing in India will see a game-changing situation in the Defence Ministry. Takes a leaf out of the Railway Ministry's playbook on modernization.
There are pockets of opportunities where things are happening at a much faster pace. I'll give you the example of railways. The railways are undergoing some tremendous modernization. Just day before yesterday or yesterday, a tender was out for 1,600 locomotives of 9,000 horsepower. Siemens was the lowest bidder, 20,000 crores. It is all supposed to be produced in India in an Indian plant. In one more week, there's a similar tender out for 9,000 horsepower locomotives, which is going to come out, and then 200 Vande Bharat trains, and then 100 high-speed trains. Now, this is the kind of initiative that Mr. Vaishnav has taken in his ministry to create industrialization of the railway manufacturing system, which was somehow embedded in the last century for many, many years. And overnight, this is going to get completely modernized. What took Europe and America 50 years to do, India will do in 10 years. This is going to create a huge manufacturing ecosystem, especially in the area of electrical equipment, because these are all electric. We have, as a policy, Indian Railways have moved from diesel to electric, as you know. The same thing is happening in defense. There is a whole slew of policy changes that have taken place in the last 3, 4, 5 years. If the Defense Ministry starts doing what the railways are doing in terms of creating this large industrialization capabilities, then I think India will have a game-changing situation in manufacturing for the domestic market also.
And at the CII summit, Uday Kotak hinted that India's growth cannot be dependent only on a few large companies. While he admitted that India needs companies of global scale, Kotak said, and I quote, "We need to see many flowers bloom."
We want to see world-scale companies. But at the same time, from an India point of view, we want to see many flowers bloom. We should not have a situation where it is just a very small garden. We want a garden which is large enough, maybe not too fragmented. I think Baba's point is valid. We need few big successes, but it still means that we need reasonably large number of Indian companies getting to scale. And I would therefore like to see, as consolidation happens, we also see innovation as the basis for India's growth in India and globally.
And coming up at 7:30 p.m. today, Shireen Bhan will be in a conversation with Thomas Friedman and Uday Kotak at 7:30 p.m. at the CII Global Economic Policy Summit, live and exclusive on CNBC-TV18. Now, Air India has drawn up a $400 million fleet makeover plan to improve in-flight experience for passengers. 40 wide-body aircraft will be refurbished with new interiors. The aircraft will also have a new premium economy cabin. My colleague Madiha Mujawar joins us with the details. Madiha, thank you for joining us. What can the passengers look forward to?
Well, improving the customer's travel experience has been one of the 5 pillars of Air India's transformation plan. The CEO also has on many occasions talked about changing the brand perception about Air India, wanting customers to perceive the airline as one of the best in the world. And things have begun to change. But what are the key complaints that passengers often make? Some flyers find the seats and carpets unclean. Some say the entertainment systems don't work, while some complain about broken charging points. These issues are highlighted more on long-haul flights, and that's exactly what Air India is targeting. The plan is to spend $400 million to refurbish cabin interiors of its wide-body fleet. 40 aircraft in total will undergo this makeover, so 27 Boeing 787 Dreamliners and 13 Boeing 777s will get the latest generation seat, best-in-class in-flight entertainment across all classes. In addition, these aircraft will also see the introduction of a new premium economy cabin. Remember, ever since Air India's takeover, the Tatas have been taking steps for an image makeover. And the refurbishing exercise, which is expected to complete by 2024, is a major step in that direction.
All right, thank you, Madiha, for those updates. All right, it's time for a short break. When we return, we'll get you the latest. The Supreme Court spars with the centre once again over the appointment of judges. More details when we return. Welcome back. Payments platform Bharat has filed a lawsuit against its former managing director Ashni Grover and his family. The company is accusing them of allegedly creating fake invoices and fictitious companies to overcharge Bharat Pay. Ritu Singh is here with more details. Ritu.
Well, Bharat Pay in its statement to us has confirmed that it has initiated civil and criminal action against Ashni Grover, Madhuri Jain Grover and other members of their family for various charges, including misappropriation of company funds. Now, we've been given to understand that Bharat Pay has actually filed a 2,800 page civil suit and criminal action against Ashni Grover, Madhuri Jain Grover, who is the former head of controls at Bharat Pay, and other members of their family, which include Deepak Gupta, Suresh Jain and Shwetank Jain. And we've been given to understand that Bharat Pay has claimed 88 crores plus in damages from Ashni Grover and his family in this case. Now, it has charged Grover and his family on 17 counts, and these are some serious charges which include criminal conspiracy, embezzlement of funds, siphoning, cheating, forgery, and if proven to be found guilty, then Grover and his family could face a few years in prison as well. Now, this complaint, we understand, is based on the findings of the Alvarez and Marcel preliminary report, which was placed before the board of Bharat Pay earlier this year in January. Now, the Delhi High Court heard this matter today, and the next hearing is on the 9th of January. And the defendants, we understand, have been given 2 weeks' time to file their reply in this matter.
All right, thank you, Ritu, for that. Moving on, the Supreme Court pulled up the centre once again over the appointment of judges. The Apex Court also issued a warning to ministers for criticising the collegium system. Ashmit Kumar is here with more details. Ashmit, in as many words, the Supreme Court said that collegium system is the law of the land and must be followed.
Indeed, it is not an option that the centre can exercise. It cannot decide that it is which laws it will follow and which laws it will not follow. Those were words coming from the Supreme Court bench itself. This was in response to the Supreme Court concerns that it has highlighted on multiple occasions, that names that have been sent and have been reiterated to the Law Ministry continue to remain pending on the files of the Law Ministry without any action being taken for appointments. Now, this is a concern that has been highlighted a number of times, and this time as well, the Supreme Court expressed its frustration, saying that this is amounting to a game of ping-pong between the Supreme Court Collegium as well as the centre. But in fact, it took it a step further and said that these commentaries that are coming from union ministers on how the Supreme Court Collegium functions, in fact, the Supreme Court advised the Attorney General to inform the union ministers that perhaps this is not going down too well with the collegium members. Further, the Supreme Court also said that the law of the land is very clear, that once the name is reiterated or by the Supreme Court Collegium, there are no two ways about it. The centre has to go ahead and accept those names, and that those names are not being accepted, and it raises questions as to how the centre is refusing to accept the law of the land, that the Supreme Court will remain firm on its position, that the law of the land is the very clear. Supreme Court Collegium, despite all of its faults, is in fact in force, and that the Supreme Court will not be shy of enforcing the law of the land. So that is a strong worded order coming in from the Apex Court. This matter, we understand, will get taken up once again in January when there are more answers that are sought from the Law Ministry.
All right, thank you, Ashmit, for that. All right, moving on, taking a step towards sustainability, Pernod Ricard India has taken the initiative to remove permanent mono cartons across its portfolio of brands. The company's executives explained the ramifications of the move to Shilpa Ranipeta.
All our brands are now going to be present for the consumers without the permanent mono cartons, because the benefits of that are tremendous. Right? We save 7,300 tons of carbon dioxide emissions into the air every year. We save 250,000 trees annually. I think we today must be sitting at around easily 40% of our inventory in the market without the permanent monocarton. And we are hopeful in the next 6 months, we're going to be achieving our objective of being completely monocarton free by June 2023.
New packaging is going to be the bottle itself, and we are not going to be having a monocarton, so to say, stand in between the consumer and the product. Again, it's a bit, I must say that it's a bold move, because most of the industry does have monocartons today. And where we are concerned, we are actually hoping that the industry also follows this entire movement. It's not just got to do with the initiative.
And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Business 360. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to CNBC TV 18.